I'm Mark.
And I'm Josh.
And this is Alter Ego Comics TV for the week of March 29th, 2017. We are moments away from opening our comic shop, Alter Ego Comics, on a Wednesday, New Comic Book Day. But before we do that, we always sit down with our friendly video camera and talk about the books that we like the best. And my pick of the week this week is Titans Annual #1, written by Dan Abnett, artwork by Minkyu Young. And this was I picked this up on a whim. I'm not reading Titans. I read the first issue or two, and it just didn't hook me. But how could I not pick up a book that has the members of the Titans and their mentors in the Justice League on the covers? So you have Aqualad Aquaman, Donna Troy Wonder Woman, Wally West Barry Allen, and I'll just keep switching back between their code names and their real names, Nightwing and Batman.
Well, if it was Wally West and Barry Allen, it would have been Flash and Flash.
It would have been Flash and Flash, which is fine. But I can't, how do I want to explain this? It was just fun. It's a self-contained story that may have ramifications. It looks like there will be ramifications down the road in Titans. And since I hadn't been reading Titans, I didn't know what had been revealed about certain characters and what hadn't. So there is a bit in here that has to do with one of the Titans that had previously been revealed in the pre-Rebirth, pre-New 52 universe, I believe. But these 8 characters find themselves suddenly in a place that they don't recognize. They all gather together, and they don't really trust each other. The League and the Titans haven't had the best relationship in the past. The League is maybe born out of necessity, where the Titans are born out of friendship, and you have them trying to work together to solve this riddle that they're in. And I really enjoyed it. It's got an old-school Justice League villain that I haven't seen in a while. I'm sure he's been in Justice League, but my recollection of this character is vastly different than what he is in this issue. Dialogue was great. Abnett is... And one of the reasons I picked it up is because Dan Abnett was writing it, and his writing is usually top-notch. And this one is. So you don't need to know anything about... You don't have to have been reading Titans or Justice League to pick this up. All you have to do is be kind of familiar with who these characters are. And I truly enjoyed it.
Yeah, I loved it. Exemplified the relationships between those characters.
This is what superhero comics should be. It's a self-contained, done-in-one adventure.
It's self-contained, but to appreciate a lot of the dynamic, you have to have some background in who these people are.
Right,
but the story itself is self-contained.
Like somebody that maybe watched one of the Titans, or watched
Young Justice,
or one of the animated films that the Titans are in,
could follow it.
Could pick this up and have a good time with it.
My pick of the week this week, it was so close. There are a lot of really strong books, but I think my pick of the week, for sheer fun, is Booster Gold Flintstones. What? Yeah, that's a thing. And this is written by someone Russell, 2D Russell, I think.
Kerry Russell.
Kerry Russell.
No.
Is it really? I don't know. Who's Kerry Russell?
Russell Johnson. Who did he play?
I have no idea who Russell Johnson is.
Professor on Gilligan's Island.
Ah. All right.
While we're waiting...
There's got to be a credits page.
I know Rick Leonardi did the art.
Okay. Because it looks like Rick Leonardi.
No, it doesn't. Actually, it looks a little different than his older style. It's kind
there
of
we
on
go.
The last page.
Nope.
There you go.
There we go. Mark Russell writing, Rick Leonardi penciling.
Ooh, Mark Russell.
There you go. Scott Hanna inking, because it's a Hanna-Barbera book, I can only assume. And so this is a Booster Gold adventure that involves time travel, like all great Booster Gold adventures. And it takes them through a series of hijinks from Gotham City of the 23rd, 24th century, some point in the future.
Yes, 26th century.
26th century, okay. Back to the Flintstones time period and a few spots in between. But what was really great about it was the humor. Like, the dialogue, the references to time travel and pop culture stuff and history was just so much fun. We haven't seen Booster Gold in a while, and he nailed it. I was very pleased with this. It's a Booster Gold self-contained story. I don't know if a Flintstones fan would enjoy it. The Flintstones had plenty of screen time, but didn't have a lot to do. They were mostly along for the ride with Booster Gold.
They had a gay old time, I think.
I believe. But super awesome, and if Booster Gold Flintstones sounds kind of cool to you, then you will be thrilled to know we've also got out this week Adam Strange Future Quest, written by Marc and Josh, nice guy. Space Ghost Green Lantern by James Tynion IV, who's rocking out on Detective, yeah.
On Crab.
On Crab. And Suicide Squad, Banana Splits, and full disclosure, I have no idea who the Banana Splits are.
Yeah, I don't either. I know some people do, but I knew these three, so I read those three.
Right.
The big selling point for Green Lantern Space Ghost for me, well, besides it being Green Lantern Space Ghost,
It's the rough and ready backup story.
is what's his face? Ariel Olivetti does the artwork, and it's stellar. It is stellar artwork. God, yes, it's awesome. So you have two space cops together. That was cool.
And Adam Strange Future Quest backup features
I didn't read that
Top Cat.
Top Cat entering
And
Gotham City.
it's like a gritty, realistic, except not really because he's still wearing a purple vest and
Top
hat.
Cat with Batman and Catwoman. So you should totally pick these up. It's a light week. Pick
lots
these
of
up.
fun.
Is it back to me?
Yeah.
Back to me. My second pick this week, and I did enjoy all of the Hanna-Barbera DC crossovers, except the one I didn't read, which was Suicide Squad and Banana Splits. Star Trek Boldly Go, issue 6. Co-writers this issue, and I was a little put off by that because Mike Johnson has been doing such a stellar job. Stellar is my word of the day, by the way. On Star Trek, that bringing someone else on board made me nervous. And Ryan Parrott is the co-writer, and apparently they're going to be co-writers moving forward. But this advances Star Trek. It advances the story, and it's been happening since Boldly Go. There is no Enterprise anymore, so you know, the crew has been scattered to the winds. Spock and Uhura are in Vulcan. Sulu was first officer of Captain Terrell's ship. I'm not sure if it was the Reliant, following kind of the old school Star Wars stuff, but the Borg came, and that got shot to hell. McCoy is no longer the chief medical officer on the ship that he's on. He has to answer to a Tellarite, and Kirk is captain of a ship called the Endeavor, and he just lost his first officer to the Romulans. So a lot of stuff is going on. What's great about this is a lot of these characters are thrown back together, and actually Sulu becomes the new first officer for Kirk on the Endeavor, which I think is great. And we learn a lot about these characters. This again is... It's a take a breath issue. Mm-hmm. We just finished up with the Borg. They're moving forward with a new adventure after this, and this is a self-contained story as well, which was very heartfelt and made complete sense to me. I don't know what else to say. They basically encounter explorers that are not exactly like them, but are very much like them. I loved it. I've loved every issue of the series, but this is one of my favorites. And the artwork was great. It's a different artist, Chris Mooneyham, which is kind of a cross between old school Howard Chaykin and Walt Simonson.
Yeah.
For those of you that follow artists, this was...
When I flipped through Chaykin was that I was seen in the faces especially.
Yeah, it's a great issue. It's a great series.
Wait,
I have to mention the other thing.
You can.
But are you talking about this?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Well, I was going to say is, it has to answer to a Telluride sounds vaguely racist. Because, like... I don't know. Like, if you replace everything else, if we replaced that with Indian person or had to answer to a woman, it would sound bad. So I feel like maybe let's tone it down. Aliens are people too, probably.
Have you ever had to answer to a Telluride? Tellurites are very...
never had to answer to a
Tellurites
Telluride.
are very abrasive, and that might be why Josh is defending them. Also by Ryan Parrott this week, from Boom Studios, Power Rangers Aftershock, and this takes place after the film that's in theaters now. So for those of you that are Power Rangers fans, or if you saw the movie, you want to pick up this sequel to the film. Again, written by the guy that co-wrote Star Trek this week, and that's good enough for me.
My pick this week, another annual my next pick this week, another annual from DC. This is the Batgirl annual starring Supergirl in Prison Break. I assume it's tying into that TV show that starts next week, or comes back next week.
Was Heatwave there?
I didn't... Well...
And Leonard Snart?
There's a guy with freeze powers.
Oh, okay.
So, maybe. But this is a lot of fun. It doesn't... you don't have to have been reading what's going on in Batgirl or Supergirl to follow it. It's written by Hope Larson, who's the normal writer on Batgirl. And we also have a backup written by someone else, Alea... Masterson? Vita Alea. Art by Eleonora Carlini on the backup. But basically, Batgirl is in National City with no explanation why. Apparently, Babs just goes where she wants now, which is fine with me. And she needs help. She runs into Supergirl, or Supergirl needs help. She gets Batgirl to help her. They have to break into this place and help someone who's been psychically contacting Supergirl in Kryptonian. And hilarity ensues. I love the juxtaposition because in this version of the universe, Supergirl is younger than Babs by a decent number of years. She's in her early to mid-teens, whereas Babs is working on her doctorate in college. And seeing them team up and have fun together is great. The juxtaposition of personalities, it's the same dynamic as Superman, Batman, or John and Damian. It's just two different sides of kind of the same type of personality, and it's a lot of fun if you like either of those characters.
My final selection this week is X-Men Prime #1, written by all of the writers. Well, let's go through this one step at a time here. Okay, so X-Men Prime is a primer for what we're going to see in X-Men Gold, written by Mark Guggenheim with artwork by Ken Lashley. X-Men Blue, written by Cullen Bunn with artwork by Leonard Kirk, maybe, I don't know. And X-Force, written by Greg Pak, I believe, with artwork by Greg Land.
The Greg. So
the artist I mentioned may not actually be working on this on the forthcoming series, since Greg Land is nowhere to be found in this. But there is an overarching story here, or is it overarching?
I used to say arching. I don't actually know.
Okay. What do you say? Arcing? It's probably arching because there's an H in there. Overarching story. Kitty Pryde is back from space. She's done with Peter Quill. She's done with people named Peter, actually. She's done dating people named Peter, trying to reestablish her life in Chicago. She starts off doing some ballet, doing some dancing, and that's a throwback to the Byrne Claremont era of X-Men when she was a dance student. She's trying to have a normal life, and then Storm shows up and says, "Oh, by the way, we need you. I need you." And it's very much this whole thing is very much a statement on the X-Men over the last several years, I think. A little bit of Marvel over the last several years. And so we get a glimpse of what Kitty is kind of feeling and thinking as she weighs her choices here. Does she come back to the X-Men? And she's being asked to come back and lead. We see the X-Men that are out of time, that have been pulled forward in time, the original 5 students, and they are planning something to basically go off on their own with Jean as their leader. And then you have members of a new X-Force team, I guess. The focus is really on Lady Deathstrike here, who, again...
Isn't that Weapon X? Is that Weapon X?
It is Weapon X. What's X-Force? Isn't there an X-Force series coming?
Maybe, but I don't think those characters are
No,
Weapon
it's Weapon X.
X.
I'm
Okay.
sorry. Yeah, it's Weapon X. Greg Pak is writing Weapon X.
There we go.
And Lady Deathstrike is basically doing something very similar to Kitty. She's been through a lot lately. She wants to go kind of find herself and stay out of mutant relations. And she gets sucked back in and maybe unwillingly will become a member of this new Weapon X program, Weapon X team. I thought this did a great job of setting everything up. I thought the writing was top-notch all the way through. And it was refreshing. I'm looking forward to... For me, the one I'm looking forward to the most is X-Men Gold. I love all the characters on that team. It's the classic lineup: Colossus, Kitty, Storm, Logan, Old Man Logan, Nightcrawler, and Rachel Gray in a funky new costume that I'm not exactly thrilled with.
Yeah. Well, has Rachel ever had a good costume? Like, every costume she has is kind of...
Yeah. Well, when you're a hound for...
Yeah.
What's-his-face? Ahab? I don't know.
Yeah.
She was in the future. But that's the one. I think Jubilee is on that team as well. Apparently, on the cover, she looks the same age as she did in the comics. But good stuff. Good stuff. I'm looking forward to X-Men returning to the Marvel Universe, hopefully in the right way. And it starts next week with X-Men Gold, #1.
And you're right, Claremont Byrne really evoked the feeling, like a lot of the characters were viewpoint. But it also reminded me a little bit of the first issue of the Whedon run, where Kitty comes back to the X-Men to join, and it's really good. Love me some X-Men, and I'm glad to see
It had all the feels. They were hitting all the emotional points to get us excited about the X-Men again.
I know our emotional pressure points. And then 2 second issues out to first issues we loved. Lady Castle #2. This is the story of a medieval kingdom where all of the men get killed, so the women have to take over. It's a statement on girl power. It's also ridiculously fun and funny. And from Greg Rucka, writer extraordinaire, and Leandro Fernandez, we've got The Old Guard, the story of immortal soldiers who have maybe potentially been exposed to the modern world. And we get to see some of the background, the history. We get to find out how old some of these characters are, where they ran into each other, when they found out they were immortal. And it was awesome.
It was Highlander.
Yes, if you like Highlander, you'll love this. This is better written than Highlander, though.
We've got a lot of trades out this week, collected editions, I should say, proper terminology. The one that I'm most excited about, oddly enough, is Dark Horse number ones. This is 8 Dark Horse first issues for $6. And Dark Horse is the latest in a line of publishers, including Image and Oni Press, to kind of bundle some of their best number ones covering a wide variety of genres to get people into their series. So Dark Horse number ones is if you're looking to sample a bunch of awesome stuff, and it covers everything from Hellboy to the Umbrella Academy to more recent stuff like Briggsland, which we both enjoyed, Black Hammer, which is getting a lot of love,
Lady Killer, which was really good.
I'll just name them all. Lady Killer, Harrow County, which is a great horror book by Cullen Bunn, Department H by Matt and Charlene Kint, and Bounty by Curtis Wiebe and Mindy Lee.
Awesome.
You're up next.
Last issue.
Oh wait, you're still talking about stuff.
I've still got stuff.
Oh, you got your also rants. Sorry,
Yeah,
go ahead.
That's all right. No thing. The last issue of Serenity No Power in the Verse, it was great. Chris Roberson really has a great feel for writing these characters and making references to the shows and movie. And this ending didn't feel like an ending, so I feel like there's going to be something following up on it in the Dark Horse Serenity verse. Hopefully soon.
It's probably a safe bet.
It seems likely.
For those of you following Saga in Collected Edition, Volume 7 is out today. Come get it. It's awesome. Saga has stayed awesome.
Infamous Iron Man number 6, Brian Bendis, Michael Malieve, Doctor Doom is Iron Man. He gets to run into Sharon Carter running S.H.I.E.L.D., and it's great.
Oni is republishing some of their collected editions. Awesome collected editions. It has $9.99 trades, and
technically it's a $10 trade.
Yes, it does say 10 right on the cover. This is letter 44 by Charles Soule and Alberto Albuquerque. Might be related to Raphael Albuquerque. I don't know. Sci-fi drama, all kinds of awesome. For $10, this is a steal. This is one of Alex's favorite books. Our co-worker Alex here, and it is just. It's totally worth it.
It is awesome. It's the West Wing meets space, and great.
Yes.
And last up, just like we had an X-Men Prime to let you know what's going on with the X-Men's coming out of INHUMANS X-Men IVX. We've got Inhumans Prime, which sets up where the Inhuman books are going. And I actually enjoyed it. I haven't been following the Inhuman stuff too closely, but after IVX I wanted to see what was happening, and it was a good time. So hopefully the new books will be awesome too.
And I think we're seeing kind of a trend with Marvel. We know you've told us, we've seen it in sales. Marvel has been struggling as of late, very similar to the way that DC was struggling about a year ago, a little more than a year ago. And DC got their act together and started the Rebirth universe. And Marvel is hopefully getting their act together. Secret Empire looks to be a return to what a true event series should be. Did you read Zero?
I did. It was awesome.
I think I asked this last week too. And he did
last week I hadn't read it. So.
Secret Empire issue number 0 comes out in about 3 weeks. Treat it as a number 1. Don't treat it as a 0, as a throwaway, fluff. It is an essential part of the story, and so much happens in it. Also, Captain America 16, I believe, leads right into it. So you won't want to miss that either. But Marvel's got the resurrection of the X titles going on. They're moving in the right direction. They announced Generations for later in the year, which looks to reestablish some of the fan favorite old school characters that have been missing as of late. They know that they've been stumbling, and they've talked to retailers, and they've actually listened to our feedback. And so I'm excited. I'm excited about what Marvel has to offer, because a strong Marvel makes a strong industry. You can't be hating on Marvel and loving comics at the same time, kind of, sort of, because without Marvel, we could be
there wouldn't
in trouble. We need a strong DC and a strong Marvel.
Even though they're struggling, they're still 35 or 40% of the market share. So yes, if Marvel disappeared, there would be the comics industry would collapse.
So if you've been angered by what Marvel's been doing lately, I hope you come back for Secret Empire and Resurrection, and I hope you give them another chance, because it looks like it's going to be a return to the Marvel age. Make mine Marvel. Actually, that's their tagline for later this year. If you like this week's episode, give us a thumbs up, and make sure you hit the subscribe button so that you are notified every time we update or upload a video. and continue the conversation with us over in our private Facebook group, Comics Are Awesome. We'll include a link down below. And as we've mentioned a few times, we'll continue to mention it until we get more subscribers. We now offer a subscription service for pre-order comics. Then we ship all over the United States except for Canada. I'm sorry. See?
You did the same thing I did.
No, yeah, except for Hawaii and Alaska.
We don't ship to Canada either. But
yes.
that's
we don't. Sorry. Yes, it's the continental United States. So yeah, check that out. Let us know if you have questions. Keep reading comics. Keep the faith. Keep reading comics. There's another video show that does that, and it kind of drives me nuts. But we should go open the shop now. See ya.